Welcome back to the channel, ScooterATVSales.com at Scooter City Reno, bringing you some additional tips on how to identify issues on your scooter when it's bogging down or it's just not running properly, adding throttle and it's dying out, and various other reasons. So these are basic tips. This one here came in for some service. It's called the Amigo Speedy 50. This is practically identical to the Tautau ATM City Rider and other brands out there, you guys. This is a 49cc scooter. Now this came in for the bogging down issues, not running, not staying at idle. So there's numerous issues with it. Now I'm going to show you what we found on this scooter so you guys can identify similar issues on your scooter. So let's start off with what we found wrong. Okay, now this scooter was sitting for some time and it was not winterized. We're in Reno, Nevada here, and it was not winterized. The gasoline was left in the carburetor. It was not drained out, or no additives were added to it. Now all the additives in gasoline will muck up your jet systems, your idle and mixture screw. Now this carburetor we found, we did our best to clean it out, and of course this was defective. Now take a look at the intake here, manifold. You can see the brake right here. So you always want to look for things like that. I'll move it right here. You guys can see that crack, that opening. So this was being covered up by the clamp over here that clamps it down. So again, it's vacuum operated as well. These ports right here are for vacuum purposes, and if you have a vacuum leak, it's not going to allow that scooter to run properly. It's going to be bogging down, not idling properly, just giving you very, very low performance. So we found this defective. Of course, the spark plug as well. This one, NGK CR7HSA, that's what we recommend. This was defective. And then we had also the coil, which was defective. It just seen the last of its life. The boot was broken off on it as well. And then last but not least, this is the 3/8, you could call it fuel line or vacuum line, but this is actually vacuum line, you guys. And you could interchange with fuel line 3/16s. We use a high quality Motion Pro. This is solid as a rock, so this was defective. You don't want your fuel line, vacuum lines to be like this. I mean, if you find it, you got to replace it right away. This can add to much of the issues. So these are areas that we identified, and you can also identify it with your scooter if you're having idling issues, bogging down issues, loss of power, any type of issues. So we went in here again. We remove much of the top end. Again, we remove the bucket. And this area here you can remove as well. So you have big access, nice easy access to everything you need to work on. And this is the bucket here, as we always call it here. This is what you remove out. These are the nuts over here, the bolts that secure the bucket down. So you remove that bucket, remove this other panel as shown. This will give you your access. This is your intake manifold. There's a gasket under here as well that this one particular one was not defective, so we did not have to replace it. And I mentioned that on my bogging down video. You can replace this. So we replaced the intake manifold, right? Replaced the carburetor. We cleaned out the air filter, changed the fuel filter. Now when you replace your carburetor, it's always a good idea to change your fuel filter as well. We did check the vacuum lines. Now this vacuum line right here, this was the defective one where my finger is at here. So we put a brand new vacuum line on here, and then we checked the rest of them, which are pretty decent. So these are the areas you do want to check. This is generally what is making your scooter bog down performance-wise. This is the brand new coil right here, as shown here. So we put a brand new boot and brand new spark plug. This is if you do want to adjust your valve, you can remove this cover right here, allow you access to your exhaust and your intake valve. So you guys, these are the areas you do want to check. Again, this particular one is the 49cc Speedy 50, and it does look very similar to many of the other models, particularly the Tao Motors ATM 50A1 City Rider. So keep that in mind, you guys. Again, this up here, this is your relay on this one, coil. So your pressure regulator on this particular model is tucked under here. So it's hard to see right here where my finger's at, but it's tucked under here. It is at different locations depending on what model scooter it is. On some of the other scooters, it's located right under here where my hand's out. So hope you guys find this well. Some more tips. If you guys are servicing your own scooters, these are the areas you do want to check and identify if your scooter has loss of power, it's bogging down, it's not idling correctly. Check in these certain parts and certain areas of your scooter. Hope you guys find these tips well. ScooterATVSales.com if you guys are looking for a new ride. If you need some parts, universal parts, at ScooterATVParts.com. You'll always find me posting on Instagram at ScooterATVSales. See you guys soon. Take care.